So this is not necessarily going to be as in-depth as some of my other analyses. It's not necessarily a line-level analysis. It's more of an intertextual analysis. Love me some how to read literature like a professor if we're going to bring up intertextuality, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Matched, which I know is a book series that many people hate. Personally, it's my favorite book series of all time. I own 6 copies of the first book alone. Yeah, that is very true. And Rebel Heart reminded me of Matched, as did Lilac, all of that good stuff. I think about it often. And one thing in particular that I think about often is part of the third book, where the main male character is kind of looking at two of the main female characters, and he's realizing that one of them rebels in order to be safe, and one of them is safe in order to rebel. And it's this archetype that has stuck with me for a very long time as a writer. Very important to me. I think about it often as someone who really loves to analyze what I read and just what I consume in general. Something I think about often. Do you rebel to be safe? Are you safe in order to rebel? It's this idea of like what emotion really guides you, what drives how you act. And I thought about it with Rebel Heart, like which one do they fit? And the thing is, the album is I've Empathy, and I think that is very crucial to remember here, because I feel like they honestly go from rebelling for safety and then they start to be safe in order to rebel. They have like an arc where they understand both, which is so valuable to me in a song, having both of those experiences in the same piece of text. And just the way that it's written is so beautiful. And I think that this song is just so, reading these lyrics, I'm thinking through the rationale, and I'm realizing there's so much that's worthwhile here to look into. And maybe it is going to be somewhat of a line level analysis now that I am doing it, because I do want to express why I think certain parts fit each archetype and why blending them is such an interesting idea. It's a character arc, and it's not that we don't see character arcs often in lyrics, but, and I'm going to talk about this in another video as well, there are kind of different plot lines that you need in a story. There are sort of 3 main plot lines that every story needs, and that's external, which is like the action, internal, which we're kind of talking about here, and interpersonal. I feel like a lot of K-pop songs focus on the interpersonal aspect, and this one really, like, there is an interpersonal aspect, but there's also, and you would think that it's an external focused song because of the idea of rebellion, that is action, but I feel like there is such a strong internal plot line here that I really enjoy, appreciate, like, I don't even know how to put it. I think that it's done so well. So we're gonna go through the lyrics, and I'm gonna try to convey how my mind is working through this. So I am the kind of person who is very intentional in terms of how I structure my thoughts. If you've done cognitive behavioral therapy, thoughts affect feelings, which affect behavior, which affect thoughts. Your thoughts are really crucial to how you feel, how you act, and then how you think. Again, that's what that means. You would think that sort of the way that society is structured would provide a level of natural security. And in some ways it does. In other ways, we as people need to go against the standards, the conventions, the norms that society has created in order to feel safer. Society kind of creates a lot of dynamics in us, among us as people, in us as ourselves, that are very hurtful, that just promote a lot of negative ideation, negative, just it's really hard sometimes to feel security in the way that society is structured. That's what I'm trying to get at. So in order to feel that security that we need, we intentionally go against the way that we intentionally go against society. We intentionally go against expectations. We have to say we don't care anymore. It's going against the way that people are looking at them and saying, you know what, that's not how I'm going to live. It doesn't matter what other people think of you, how other people feel about you. You embrace rebellion. You embrace this rebellion against society, and that is what allows you to feel okay. It's a lifestyle. Being a rebel in your heart is a lifestyle that allows you to feel a greater degree, even if it's just a degree of safety, which is an interesting idea, that rebellion makes you feel safe. It's kind of not necessarily, I mean, it's not conventional. It's not conventional, and that's what's so good about it. You know, they say you're lacking something, you're a bit overwhelming. The way that you think is so integral to your value. The way that you know, just like, even, you could even just call it confidence. Honestly, just call it confidence. And sometimes confidence is really hard for people. Personally, I'm someone who confidence is really hard for, but there's so much power in the way you think. There's so much power in just thinking I am a rebel. Like, it really is an identity that allows you to do so much more than you could without that identity. It's a really strange dynamic. Do it, move it, do it. You just have to, like, I've been thinking about this lately. Like, if something doesn't enrich your life, don't do it. If it does enrich your life, just do it. I'm someone who's very hesitant, and I don't find much value in that hesitation. It just makes me feel worse. So I am very much of the mindset right now to be like, do it, move it, do it. Just do it. Like, don't waste time. It's not necessarily wasting time inherently, but when I look back on it, it's not going to be I was hesitant. It's going to be I was lazy. And maybe that's on me to rethink how I think about myself. But, like, you just need to be able to do things. Like, my anxiety has been so debilitating for a long time, and I just can't let it keep doing that. And at some point, you just need to realize that it's either you do it or you don't do it. It's not, oh, I wait until the right moment. There is no right moment. I've got a long way to go, and there's drama that will unfold. You know, it's fine. It's fine. All of this is inevitable, and it's fine. And, you know, if you have the initiative to shoot that heart into the sky, then that is what's going to be most helpful for you. And then kind of getting into the safe to rebel. Sometimes we do just need other people. Sometimes we do just need an ideal that will, I mean, honestly, it's that sense of security. I really do think that the sense of security is really an important thing to consider when you are writing, when you are reading, when you are just thinking about yourself. But I do think that it really is important what feeling what feeling it is that acts as your guiding force. It's about security. It's also about an experience. Like, what experience is the most valuable for almost your soul? Like, is it filling a role that you have defined? Is it filling a role that no one can define? It's interesting to me, at least. I don't know if anyone's going to understand this, but this was fun for me. Yeah, and I have empathy. I think that both of the archetypes have value. I think it would be interesting to do some self exploration and be like, which one do I fill? Which one do you fill? Which one does this random character fill? Personally, I think I rebel to be safe. I think I do. Or see, then my mind goes to do not go gentle into that good night, which is very crucial to matched. And my mind is like, well, how do I interpret that? Because that is something that is very important to how I live my life, how I do not go gentle. If anyone else loves matched, I would love to know. I don't know anyone that loves it anywhere near as much as I do. So I would love to know. And if you hate it, I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm sorry because you hate it. I don't know if I'm sorry because I love it. Anyway, this was an interesting video. Am I posting this? We'll see. Thank you. Like, subscribe, do those things, I guess, if I'm posting this. Thank you. Bye.